Leo, welcome to your weekly reading for the week of July 7th through the 13th. We are going to pick one of these categories for you here randomly. So it's going to be a focus for you in this coming week. So the first category is your social life and your connections. The second category is your work. The third category is your self-care and your mental health. And the fourth category are your passions and your hobbies. So we will use a number generator or number picker on my phone here to see which of these four categories you are going to focus on with this reading for the week. Okay? So let's see what comes up for you here. Leo. What is it? You're going to see it before me. It's the beige one. Shout out to all my Leos out there. I love my Leos. All right, two. All right, so this is going to be about work, Leo. Okay, so the focus for this week of July 7th through the 13th is on your work. And work is your job. Work is the things that you're working on in your life, in yourself, right? So it's going to be a reading on work. So we're going to do a 5-card spread. Always start with a cut to get the card at the bottom of the deck, and you have the Fool, right? So what new things do you want to work on? What are things that you've been thinking about? Maybe you've been putting off. What are things that you've been wanting to work on in yourself, work on in your life, have new things to work on, new projects in your house, outside of your house, in yourself? What are things that you haven't started yet? This reading is asking you to take a leap of faith towards new things to work on with this Fool card. All right, so we will draw 5 cards for you here. Your first card is the Moon. Your second card is the 5 of Swords. Third card is Death. Your fourth card is the 2 of Wands. And your fifth card here is the 7 of Cups. Okay, so when it comes to work, it's definitely about figuring out, in my opinion, one thing or one direction that you need to work towards, right? So with the Moon coming up here, right, for you Leos, when it comes to work, right, the things that you are working on or things that you're working on in yourself or new things that you want to start working on, there's darkness and confusion that's surrounding it here with the Moon, right? But the Fool came up at the bottom of the deck. And with the Moon, we have to understand that this path here is the Fool's journey. Right? So you are getting 2 cards that are encouraging you to take a new step towards something new that you're going to be working on. If you are in a job right now that most people are unhappy in their jobs, and if you have the opportunity to find a new job and you've been thinking about it, then now's the time to start looking, right? If there's parts of yourself that you've been diving into that you want to work on, now's the time to get going, right? So it's like definitely focusing on what's been confusing or in the dark about the things that you want to work on in your life. That's a focus on for this week and moving forward here with the Moon card, right? And then you have the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is winning at all costs. The 5 of Swords is reminding you that you have been victorious in the past over things that you've battled, right? Maybe within yourself, maybe within life. So remind yourself, how are you victorious? What did you do, right? The 5 of Cards is winning at all costs, right? Playing dirty, right? Doing things, whatever you need to do in order to win. So it's asking you to do that again and not be reluctant to do that, right? All is fair in love and war, right? So it's like the battles that you have internally, the battles that you have in your life, find the way to be victorious and don't hesitate doing what you need to do in order to be victorious with that 5 of Swords, right? So the Death card is showing up here. The Death card is about definitely putting an end or killing the parts of yourself that you need to destroy, the parts of yourself that you need to bring to an end, the parts of yourself that you're still holding on to that you need to let go. Because the powerful thing about the death card is that once you do this, you're going to transform, right? So the areas in your life that you're working on, whether it's in your job or the things that you're working on in yourself, what do you need to bring to an end? How do you need to actively like destroy the parts of yourself that you've been working on, or the parts of your life that have been working or have not been working, especially those that have not been working? How can you bring them to an end? How can you destroy them here with the death card? Because the powerful thing about the death card is that it's all about a transformation. It's about a rebirth, right? The things that we actively destroy and bring to a death, that creates a rebirth and a transformation. And again, you have the Fool card at the bottom of the deck that started this reading. That's going to get you on this path towards something new. Then you have the Two of Wands, right? So this is definitely the energy that I've been feeling in this reading so far. This is you, looking out into the world. This is you standing in one spot, being very still, right? Like you know what you need to work on, especially if it's out in the world, outside of yourself that you need to work on in your life here. But the thing about the Two of Wands is that he has the world in his hands, right? So this is asking you to understand that what you need to work on is inside of you. There's a world inside of you that needs work. What are the things that you need to work on? Is it your wounds? Is it things that you have been repressing, things that you haven't been processing enough, right? Because the more that we work on those things, and if the world is in your hands and it's asking you to work on yourself and the world inside of you, right? The more that you process these things, the lighter you become. Because the issue with the Two of Wands is that he's just standing still, right? It's really a position of being stuck in many ways. So it's like being stuck is powerful, and it's a really good place to manifest when you're stuck, but you want to get moving here, right? You are a Leo, you are a fire sign. You want to get moving with this Two of Wands, right? And then your last card, your fifth card, is the Seven of Cups, right? So this is you looking at all the different things that you need to work on. This is looking at all the options that you're considering, right? There's good things, there's bad things in those cups. You don't know because those cups are outside of you. So really the Seven of Cups is asking you to pick a cup or pick a cup or two. Like it's finally time for you to start working on what you need to work on here, Leo, right? Instead of just thinking about it here with the Seven of Cups, instead of just ruminating on it, like pick a cup or two and get to action and start working on these things. And that's going to lead to a lot of, forward movement in your life. So let's go ahead and clarify. Your first card here is the Moon. And to clarify the Moon, we have the Two of Cups, right? So maybe you're working towards love, right? Maybe love hasn't been working in your life, or maybe you're in a connection right now that needs work. You're in a connection that is confusing, and this is Two of Cups. This is someone that you're partnered with, or maybe this is love, and maybe love hasn't been working for you. The key to the Two of Cups is that you need to communicate with your higher self. Right? That staff in between them, that's the staff of Hermes, and that is asking you to communicate with your higher self. And the way I always like to describe the higher self is the version of ourselves that we want to become. Right? So this is asking you to do work here, right? To dive into the parts of yourself that are dark and confusing and in your shadow. And if you start communicating with your higher self, you start thinking about, like, when I do this work, right? When I put in this work, when I put in this effort into myself, into my life, I am going to become a better version of myself. So start thinking about who you're going to be in the future, right? 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, and communicate with that person. Try to get a glimpse into who you're becoming, who you're transforming into. And that's the key with the Two of Cups. Now, if this is about love, right? It's about working on love in the ways that work for you, right? However that resonates, right? And it's like, in my opinion, love shouldn't require a tremendous amount of work. And if you need to put work into love with this Two of Cups, then it's the amount of work that you're willing to put in, that you are comfortable with and that you're okay with. If you are putting way too much work into a connection, then you have to question whether or not this love is working for you. Okay? With the Five of Swords, we have the Page of Swords, right? So Five of Swords and the Page of Swords, again, it's asking you to be curious about the things that you're working on with this Page of Swords. It's asking you to be curious about the ways you've been victorious in the past with that Five of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. Become curious with the things that you need to work on. Don't put it off. Don't, fill your day with activities or scroll on your phone. Like, actually take the time to dive into, what do I need to work on in myself? What do I need to work on in my life, right? Put the effort and energy, if you have the time this week or moving forward, be curious about what it is that you need to work on and the things that you've done in the past that you've worked on that have helped you become victorious with that Five of Swords. Your next card is Death. And with the Death card, we have the Five of Wands. So very, very similar message, right? You have transformed in the past because you have learned from conflict, right? Conflict, maybe if you have lost in the conflict and it led to a destruction or a death of your ego or your spirit, right? That helped you to transform, right? The Five of Wands is a great card because, they're fighting with sticks, right? We learn how to fight. We learn how to battle with the Five of Wands. And if you reflect on the things that have transformed you when it comes to conflict in yourself and in your past, then it's going to lead to a powerful rebirth with that Death card. All right, so next we have the Two of Wands. And with the Two of Wands, we have the King of Pentacles. So again, a card of work, right? But the King of Pentacles is a card of resources and skills. And it's just telling you that you know what you need to do in order to work on yourself here. You have the tools, you have the skills, you have what it takes, you have the answers. It's not outside of yourself. You don't need to always go on YouTube to watch people to gain answers or get answers from friends. The King of Pentacles is saying that in order for you to work on yourself, the world inside of you here, you have the answers and you have what it takes. Your last card is the Seven of Cups. Let's see what we get with the Seven of Cups here for you, Leo. You have the Ten of Cups. Let's go. All right. Right? So it's like the Ten of Cups with the Seven of Cups is definitely saying that you know what you need to do. You know that you have what it takes with this Ten of Cups here, right? You don't have to be stuck in analysis. You don't have to be stuck thinking about it. Just like pick one of these cups, pick the thing that you need to work on in your life, whatever that is, inside of yourself, outside of yourself, and know that when you've done that in the past, it's led you to a place of happiness. Right? Now, the issue with the Ten of Cups is that you see this family here celebrating and they're like, damn, we got these 10 cups. This is really dope. But those 10 cups are up in the sky. So you need to bring it down. You need to bring down this happiness into your life. You need to really put in the effort again towards what it is that you need to work on. So I hope you know what that is. Leave me a comment down below and have a great week, Leo. Have fun.